Sheffield Palestine youth movement. She's also involved in BLM. Just goes to show the width and the breadth of support we have for Palestine. It is an intersecting struggle. Welcome onto the stage, Amna.
Thank you to everyone stood here today. Your presence is much appreciated. After the total blackout last night, to commit yet another night of the most heinous war crimes, there is so much grief that I want to get off my chest. But I'm just going to get straight to the point. I can stand here and give you a million reasons why Palestinians deserve to live. A million reasons why they don't deserve to be dehumanized. I can give you a whole history lesson on Palestinian resistance and all the human rights violations and massacres that Israel have committed. I can stand here and say something motivational, but we are past that point. We are witnessing a genocide unfold as we speak, and it is being abetted and aided by the West. We can't stand here anymore and just wave the flag or chant. We have to hold our bloodthirsty leaders accountable, and we have to name and shame them. Now is not the time to be afraid, or to think about your career, or to worry about losing friends. Now is the time to scream at the top of your lungs and stop an ethnic cleansing from happening. Don't be afraid to speak up, but be afraid to stay silent. To condemn the assault on Gaza. I want his degree in human rights law and any experience that he has in it completely revoked. I don't want that Islamophobic blood-sucking leech Suella Braverman or that brainless moron David Lammy to be given any airtime on anything about this. I don't want these spineless Muslim and Arab leaders to sit there and condemn Israel. I want them to help the Palestinian people. I don't want the BBC and the rest of those propaganda news sites to spread false news. I want you to go on social media and look at the videos coming out of Gaza for yourself. I don't want scumbag journalists like Piers Morgan or Richard Madeley to give their opinions on a genocide. I want you to listen to Palestinians on the ground in Gaza. I want Joe Biden to stop being a boot-licking lapdog. I want Macron to deal with his bedbug infestation instead of being scared by a piece of fabric covering some hair. I want that corpse, Ursula von der Leyen, and the rest of the EU to stop wagging their tongue whenever Israel clicks their fingers and to get a mind of their own. I want the Western elite to stop pretending like they're the beacon of human rights when they are sat front row cheering for a genocide. And most importantly, I want that warmongering lunatic Netanyahu and his cabinet of genocidal fascists tried before the ICC for war crimes and thrown behind bars. Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Sheffield councillors, it is not enough to put a statement of condemnation out. By staying in the Labour Party, you are supporting Keir Starmer, a power-hungry weasel who is counting on his puppets for the Muslim vote. You are working for someone who has the blood of your fellow Palestinians all over his hands. When you stand before God in the next life, your career ambitions aren't what's going to be questioned, your humanity will. Refuse to be silenced by intimidation, because if you witness an inhumanity, the least that you can do is vocalise your outrage. And finally, Rishi Sunak, you are the descendant of a colonised people. Yet you are stood before the world, shaking hands and licking boots with the very people people who would have supported the torture and displacement of your ancestors. We know that you have to bend over whenever Israel cracks its whip, but we don't. So Rishi Sunak, I said it before and I will say it again. On the behalf of all British citizens with a conscience, we are telling you to stop being complicit in these war crimes. You are funding the genocide in real time, and instead of investing our taxes in the crumbling NHS, the failing education system, our rail workers, you are funding an already state-of-the-art nuclear-armed military against a vulnerable civilian population. Stop being a coward and withdraw all funding to Israel and start taking care of the people in this country instead of massacring others. Grow a backbone and stand up for what's right. Lastly, I just want to say that I am stood here today and I am ashamed. I am ashamed to live in a country where the leaders of political parties and other prominent figures refuse to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. You had the chance to choose peace over war. You had the chance to choose dialogue over death. And you declined because you chose to cheer for a genocide instead. Shame on you, and we will never forget.